attending our workshop today, our webinar. We're talking about maximizing your benefits for the gold level Eagle Community Partners program and getting the most out of it. Call it the Midas Touch because of the gold. So you get the Midas Touch today, learning about how to maximize the benefits of the gold level partnership. I'm Dan Lawson. I'm the Associate Vice President of Corporate Connections here at Ashland University. With me today is the Vice President of Marketing and Enrollment Management, Keith Ramsdell, and he's going to be joining us in on this discussion today as we talk about what we're doing here at the corporate level. We're bringing these webinars on the third Wednesday of every month. This one's a little out of order because we had some technological difficulties. And by the way, for those of you who are asking, our website is transitioning to a new website. And so some of the pages haven't migrated over to the new Ashland University website. So if you have questions or you want to find out more, you can send us an email at ECP, Eagle Community Partners at ashland.edu, or you can give us a phone call if you've got questions about that. But I apologize for the time being. Some of those pages haven't gotten migrated over yet, and some of you have been calling me about that. So today's webinar is about the Midas Touch, getting the most out of the Eagle Community Partner Program. Let me give you a little bit of background, a little bit of history here. Back in 2016, when our president was still new, we started this program called Corporate Connections. We called it Corporate Connections because it's my job to connect each of you to the various aspects of the university. And so we were talking about how we could enhance this and make this a great program for those organizations that want to become partners with us. And we came up with tuition discounts. So we provide tuition discounts, as you know, on any degree at Ashland University, with the exception of the new MS in Physician Assistant Studies. That one hasn't gotten it yet, but any degree for the employees and their family members. And that has turned out to be phenomenal. So now we've got over 100 partners. I've lost track of how many it is now, over 100 partners. And so when Keith came along, Keith and I started talking about how can we make this program a little bit better. And so Keith and I have been working to enhance this program. And so we're now calling it Eagle Communities Partners. Keith, you're the one who came up with that name. So why Eagle Community Partners?
Well, you know, everything at AU starts with the word Eagle. So, so I thought, you know, I thought that made a lot of sense. But honestly, I think, you know, one of the things, and you and I had chatted about this a little bit, Dan, you know, as we've grown the program, and this was certainly before my time, this was when you were leading the program, you know, kind of solo. And it was really the corporate word describes what you were doing at the time. But now that you had already started this, you had started expanding into church partners and school partners and some other nonprofit partners and things like that, where the word corporate didn't, to me, really fit what we're doing anymore. And so to me, that's the much broader community. And I think one of the other things that came up, and you and I had a chat about this, and you know, when we think about community, I think initially it was the Ashland community, or maybe the Ashland County community, or the adjacent areas. But again, you had already grown it beyond Ashland, the immediate community, but we still think of our partners in the Cleveland market, the Columbus market, the Akron-Canton areas. They're all part of the Ashland University community, which in my mind is a much broader community than what was originally maybe envisioned when this program began.
Absolutely. And you're right. As it started growing, we initially thought it would be for companies and corporations, but then we had a lot of healthcare systems that wanted to partner with us because of our College of Nursing. Then we had a lot of school systems that wanted to partner with us because of our College of Education. We even had some organizations that came along. For example, the National Black MBA Association wanted to become a partner with us. So we had corporate partners, healthcare partners, educational partners, and then organizational partners. And so it was getting very, very confusing. So it makes sense to put it all under one umbrella and under one name. So along with that, though, we took the opportunity to enhance it, make it even better. We talked about the tuition discounts, and that was a big reason for having these partnerships to provide those tuition discounts. So now we've enhanced it, though. We've added even more benefits. So Keith, let me give you a chance to talk about that. There are 2 tiers now. Why 2 different levels?
Yeah. So the reason for that, and you'll see the additional slide here that kind of talks about maybe a little bit more detail of what Dan and I were just discussing. But the reason for going to the two different tiers primarily was the simple fact that some of our partners were looking for an additional pathway to engage the university at a deeper level. And so we wanted to be able to meet those needs and to really make it a partnership. It's one thing, it kind of felt like the scholarship opportunity was almost a one-way opportunity. We're going to offer that, and then our partners could take advantage of it, and that was great, and that got us started. But we wanted to take it to the next step, and so by going to two different tiers, and we'll throw those benefits up on the screen here momentarily, but by going to those two different tiers, it did a couple different things. One thing is for those organizations that may not have the funding or the resource, the budget, let's say, to jump to the gold level, we were still able to expand the benefits and the opportunities for our partners at the purple level. And that was certainly one of our goals. We didn't want to exclude anybody from partnership with AU, but we did want to even expand those opportunities so that there were additional features of the program that benefit our corporate and community partners and your employees and still your family members. But on the flip side of that, at the gold level, we're now able to do much more, provide a lot of additional opportunities, and we'll take a look at that here in just a minute. Before we do that though, Dan, I just want to be sure that everyone's had a chance here to look at the ways in which, and we talked about most of these, but the ways in which we engage our partners. Again, you mentioned the tuition discounts, even internship and employment opportunities, which I know is one that you've really been focused on. Maybe before I flip the screens, can you just talk a little bit about internship and employment opportunities? Because that's, in my opinion, as you and I began talking about, what this could look like, that's really kind of a passion for you. And now that we've got Zach McGrain on campus, it's really a great opportunity for us to collaborate with them as well.
It has been a huge help having them. So when we created this program, Dr. Campo and I created the program, there were 5 different components. And the first was to create a mutually beneficial relationship that both parties got something out of it. But one of those components was helping get these partners engaged with student success. We called it student success for a reason. That meant taking them as interns for student internships, obviously hiring our graduates when they finish school. And subsequently now, it's interesting to find that we've got some companies now are hiring our students before they even graduate, hiring them right out of their internships, getting involved with mentoring students, getting involved in advisory councils, anything to do with student success. And that began to grow and escalate. And so, as you mentioned, Keith, that meant then that we wanted to put some more things into the benefits packages for both the gold and the purple levels. By the way, gold and purple are the school colors, if we don't have to explain that. But there are 2 different levels now. One comes with a price, one is free. So we enhanced it with a lot of great benefits, but we still have the free level that all of them include the tuition discounts and getting involved with student success and taking their students for internships and working hand in glove right together with our Career Center for Life Calling now, and getting our companies involved with our Career Center for Life Calling, coming to the career fairs and those kinds of things. Can you talk a little bit about the tiers then, the purple level and the gold level?
Yeah, I think that's a great segue, Dan. So let me flip over to that screen next then. This is the purple level, and these benefits obviously also apply to the gold level, but we'll look at the additional gold level benefits here in a few minutes. But at the purple level, these are the things that all of our partners get. As Dan, you mentioned already, it's a continuation of the tuition discount for member employees. So whatever organization you are a part of, your employees get the benefit. But the thing that I love is that it's also for family members. And so that's something that is pretty unusual. It's something that we are able to offer. And so we throw that out, we continue that. But we've also added an annual partner appreciation event, which we anticipate being in the spring. So for all of our partners, purple or gold, we'll invite them to campus in the spring for, I think at this point, maybe we're talking about a luncheon of some sort, maybe in April or May. We don't have that nailed down quite yet, but that'll be part of it. Dan, you have already been doing a monthly webinar series. This, again, as you mentioned, this is a part of that series, but oftentimes you're bringing in leaders from the community, leaders from campus, and these are great opportunities for you and the members of your organizations to kind of take that next step in some specific area of the work that they're doing for your organization. So we encourage you to kind of broadcast that and invite your organization members to join us for those. We also have, and the first one is about ready to launch here, a top tips and trends video series that, Dan, you've been working on trying to formulate what that looks like. And I think we're real close on that. And this is just going to be like a 1.5 to 3 minute kind of top tips that every couple of weeks we're bringing something to you saying, hey, have you ever thought about leadership? Have you ever thought about engagement? Have you ever thought about efficiency? Have you ever thought about time management? Have you ever thought about whatever it is? And Dan, we've been working on this first iteration of this. I think it looks great, and I'm excited for that to go out. Excuse me. And similarly, we have our new partner e-newsletter that will be going out twice a year, brand new. And the first issue of that is in the final draft stage, and that may go out even this week as well. So getting really close to that. Again, that goes to all of our partners. You already mentioned the AU and College of Business and Economics career fairs, invitations to all of those events. A complimentary handshake account. So if you have internships or entry-level positions that you want to promote to the students here at AU, that's complimentary, and we look forward to providing that for you. And then finally, recognition on the Eagle Community Partners Virtual Wall of Fame. So as the website, as some of those pages continue to be launched on our brand new website, recognition of all of our community partners, purple and gold, will be a part of this benefit. So again, probably 2/3 of the things that you see here are brand new for the free level, for the purple level. And we're super excited to just be able to offer these opportunities to all of our partners.
Yeah, I want to remind everybody, we've given you the permission to speak. And so if you've got a question, just unmute your microphone and speak up, or raise your hand. We'll see that pop up in the chat at the bottom. You can put questions there if you don't want to speak over the microphone, but put your questions there. I want to circle back one more time to those tuition discounts. People often ask, what are those things? So, okay, so really quick, it's $1,000 a year for the traditional undergrad, and then everything else is basically straight 10%. And it goes to the graduate programs, the MBA programs, the doctoral programs, everything else is basically a straight 10%. Now, we mentioned, Keith, that it goes out to family members as well. So last year at this time, we're still working on all the numbers for this semester, but at the fall semester last year, we had just close to 300 students that were getting these tuition discounts. 55% of those students were undergrad, traditional undergrad. So it tells us that it was the parent who was the employee getting those tuition discounts for their child. A lot of schools will do these kind of tuition discounts, but they don't give it to the family as well. They only give it to the employee. We extend it to the family as well. And so feel free to ask your questions. And we're going to go on and talk a little bit now about all the great enhanced additional benefits that we've added to the program. So let's talk a little bit about the gold level then.
Great, Dan. Well, this is what gets me super excited. I know I said that same phrase when we were talking about the purple, but when I think about what we're able to offer now to our gold level partners, it really is, I think, something special in it. And it really is, we tried going into this, you and I had many conversations, and Heather joined us for many of these conversations. How do we enhance the purple level partnership to a point where $5,000, while for many organizations that might seem like quite a bit of money, for many, when you look at the benefits that we're offering, we've tried to make the benefits clearly more valuable than the $5,000 price tag, because understanding that this extends again to all of your employees. And so it's not something that one person or two people can benefit from. It's something that all of your employees can benefit from. So I'm going to go down through a few of these. A number of these I think are really critical. One is periodic Eagle Community Partner after hours networking events. Again, this is something that many organizations, chambers of commerce and so forth have been doing these for years. It's a great way for our gold partners to come together, to network together. And again, right now we'll be planning one of these very likely for either later this semester or early in the spring semester. I don't think we have this on the calendar quite yet, but an after hours kind of opportunity to network, I think, is really critical, and it's something that our advisory board had suggested. The second, oh, go ahead, Dan. You look like you were going to add something.
Yeah, I was just going to say, when this partnership began to grow, you can see on our website who our partners are. So some of the partners came to me and said, hey, I see this company's a partner. Can you connect me with them? And so that's where the idea for the networking came, because they want to network with the partners that are already part of the organization.
Absolutely. The second thing here then is a $1,000 credit. And again, this is a specific dollar amount. We want you to see the benefit, the actual benefit of your dollars if you're a gold partner. But this is a $1,000 credit toward any professional development for your employees through AU's Workforce Training and Development Department. So they have a vast array of professional development seminars and workshops and things like that that you can take advantage of. And that $1,000, you can use that credit toward any professional development for the employees of your organization, which we think is an outstanding opportunity to take advantage of.
And that too was an outgrowth of this success, because I always started these conversations by saying, what are some of your organizational needs and how can Ashland University help with those? We started keeping track of that then, and that led to the creation of the Workforce Training and Development. And they can also do what we call customized training solutions. So if you want something specific, they can customize it and find content experts to do that for you. So that's a great benefit.
Yep, great reminder there about the customized component there, Dan. Gold level recognition at sporting events and in Accent magazine. These are really critical as well, because don't underestimate the value of just being able to have the name of your organization mentioned at a sporting event, or we also stream our football, and I think we're going to end up streaming our basketball games as well. Getting name recognition out there of your organization and getting it in the Accent magazine. Accent magazine goes out electronically twice a year to 26,000 AU alumni across the region and across the country. And so we think that that's a great opportunity to just get your name out there and let people know that you are a partner with Ashland University. Complementary table. So again, in the last slide for purple partners, we talked about, you're invited to join us for job fairs on campus, but this benefit gives you complimentary table with premier placement and lunch. So, as we think about the size of some of those events, don't underestimate the value of having table placement right at the door as students are walking in, or right along a major corridor, as opposed to being in the back corner or something like that. This is premier table placement and lunch for you or a couple members of your team at all job fairs through the Career Center for Life Calling. Again, Dan, I don't know if you have anything to add to this. I think this is a great benefit.
Yes, under the purple level, which is free, they've always had to pay for this. They pay for the table and the meal and things like that. But under the gold level, as you can see, it's up to a $750 value. It's included in the gold level. You don't have to pay for that table, and you get that premier placement too. So a job fair is a great way to access our students, to get to know our students, and to have them learn about your company.
Great. This next one, again, at the purple level, you get a complimentary handshake account. So you can put your internships or your entry-level jobs in Handshake, and students may come across those opportunities. For the gold level partners, we wanted to enhance that. And so these are exclusive opportunities to connect with currently enrolled AU students to promote internship and job opportunities. So what might this look like? Well, this could be a breakfast before a job fair where you're able to, we would invite our students, you would be there as a gold level partner. You would have the opportunity to engage in conversation with some of our top students prior to, during, or perhaps post event. And we're also looking at ways that we could essentially email directly opportunities, job opportunities, internship opportunities from our partners, our gold level partners, to students who would be interested in those opportunities. So again, The goal here is to take it to an entirely different level of engagement with our currently enrolled students.
And you can ask for the students you want to meet with. So at a job fair, you're just depending on who wants to show up. But with this, you can say, okay, I want to meet with all the finance students, or I want to meet with all the accounting students. And you can specify what group of students you want to meet with to talk to.
Great, good reminder there. This next one is a promotional opportunities at AU athletic and artistic events. Again, it's more name recognition. It's the opportunity maybe for discounted ads in an athletic program, opportunities to advertise in a music program, or perhaps at one of our theater events. You know, there could be some discounts there, free opportunities. But again, it's name recognition. It's our opportunity to connect you with those organizations across our campus and to get discounted opportunities, or in some cases, free opportunities for you and your organization. Also, access to AU's professional development resource library. So Dan, you had been doing a number of programs here through Corporate Connections for the last 5 or 6 years. A lot of those now we've put into a professional development library. What are some of the resources that they might find there?
Yeah, so for a long time, we had the blogs. So we were doing blogs, and it was top tips and blogs and so forth. That morphed into the video series that you had talked about earlier. But it's all of these webinars. So you can then go into that library and you can look to see, well, they did a self-help webinar here and they did this webinar there. And you can go in and look at those webinars and listen to them at your leisure and your convenience. So it's the top tip blogs, it's the videos. You can go and see any of those videos that are going to be posted there. It's all of these webinars, and there's a number of things that we've just kind of collected along the way. Some leadership tips and different things like that that are in that resource library that you can access at any time.
Yeah, that's great. This next one, and I don't think that this is one that a lot of partnership programs like ours is able to do, but for us, this is, you have the opportunity as a gold partner to collaborate with our College of Business and Economics on real world class projects to benefit partner organizations. Well, what does this mean? Dan, I know you're working with a partner right now on this, but let me just kind of sum it up and then you can give a specific example. This would be, say you've got a leadership issue or some other issue in your organization, and you want students to bring you maybe 2 or 3 different ideas. This could be a group project to address real world issues or real world problems. Dan, can you give an example from the past? I know that you're working on one right now with a partner.
Yeah, a couple of them that we've done in the past were marketing for marketing students. And so Kent Water Sports, they make life jackets, but they make tubing and anything to do with water sports. They came and said, we want an international marketing plan. And they even specified what country they wanted. And so then the students in the marketing class developed a marketing plan for that specific country, looking at all the regulations that that country requires. And then it was kind of like a Shark Tank. They came in and made their presentations as a group. There were 3 different groups that made their presentations to Kent Water Sports, and they chose which one they wanted. We're doing something similar right now with Lippert Industries. They're doing a marketing thing too, but we've had a few requests. I want to get some students in the supply chain management to work on this for me and do these class projects in supply chain management or project management or something like that. It gives these students a great opportunity to get some hands-on experience, as well as it gives those companies and those partners an opportunity to take advantage of the research and the advice and the recommendations that these students come up with.
Again, and at the gold level, there is a $5,000 price tag for the gold level. However, once you have the gold level, this is all inclusive, right? There's no additional fee then for that level of partnership with the College of Business, which is really, I mean, it's a world-class program over there. So really a key benefit there. The next one is invitations to special gold level VIP events. We just had our first one of those last Saturday. And Dan, unfortunately, I know you were someplace far more exotic than Ashland, Ohio on your vacation. But you know, we weren't sure what this one was going to look like. It was essentially a networking event. It was a gold level VIP event for our partners prior to and during the AU football game up in a very nice room that we have overlooking the football stadium. And gosh, it was great. Heather and I were there. We had almost 40 partners. Some of them were Eagle community partners. Some of them were alumni from the College of Business. Some of them were Career Center partners. But it was just an absolutely fabulous time of networking and camaraderie. Sorry that you missed it, Dan, but we'll get you in on the next one. But it was really a pleasure and a lot of follow-up, a lot of great ideas. In fact, one of the things that I'll be talking to you about was one of the partners said, hey, I know that you've got a lot of partners that come out of the healthcare industry. And why don't we create an event down on our Mansfield campus, the College of Nursing and Health Sciences, on that campus for healthcare partners in Richland and Ashland counties hosted there. We'd love to see what you're doing on that campus. I said, that's brilliant. That is a great idea. It might be an opportunity for the next networking opportunity that we do. So those gold level partners, they might be at an athletic event, they could be at an artistic event, or they could just be independent events like the one I just described.
I love that idea because, as you know, that College of Nursing has an award-winning simulations lab. They have these mannequins, I don't know, it's something that can simulate almost any condition that a patient might have. They can tremor, they perspire, they can do all sorts of things. Just seeing that lab is worth the price of the ticket. I mean, it's a great thing. So coming to something like that, I love that idea.
Let's see. The next one here is, and I love this one too. Some people have asked you, Dan, what is this really all about? But we're giving all of our gold level partners the option to designate up to $1,000 of their membership fee to sponsor specific AU events and strategic initiatives. Now, we've kind of designated some of these, but it could be diversity initiatives. It could be community service initiatives. It could be student engagement or scholarship initiatives. And these will vary from year to year. But if you say, boy, I'm really passionate about the recruitment of a diverse student body at AU, and you say, I'm willing to invest $1,000 of my membership fee in the gold level partnership to that, that's great. No questions asked. $1,000 would go to support those initiatives. Or you say, hey, I would love to support the Ashland community or the surrounding community in a way that's meaningful. Is there a way that I can do that? Absolutely. $1,000 would go to something like maybe a Habitat for Humanity or something along those lines in any given year. So I think this is a great way for our partners to simply be able to say, for the greater good of the students and for the greater good of the AU community, I want to contribute $1,000 to one of those select opportunities. And we just thought that that was a great way to allow our partners to designate some of that fee.
Give you another example about that. Last spring, our students went on a civil rights tour and they followed the footsteps of Dr. Martin Luther King. And they visited several of those monuments and some of those museums and things like that. One of our partners stepped forward and sponsored that. That happened to be a $5,000 sponsorship. And that was before we had started this Eagle Community Partners level program. So with that opportunity, they could count 1,000 of this toward that sponsorship and then just pay the rest. But it's a great opportunity to do things, again, that enhance the community, but also helps our students.
Absolutely. This next one, we've already started to see our gold level partners step up and use this benefit, but it's a 10%, and this is a corporate discount. It's not individual, so it's not for all of your employees, but it's a 10% discount at AU's campus store, our catering services, or our print shop. And so, for example, one of our partners, they host their holiday reception for their employees. They host that on our campus. They use our catering services. And so they're going to get a 10% discount this year just because they're a gold level partner. And what a great way to take advantage of something they're already doing. They already had that plan. Now they can use that 10% discount on that particular event on our campus. And again, that could be through the campus store. You can get clothing designated or branded with your organization. Through catering services, again, that's a full service catering organization right through that we do in-house. And the print shop does all different kinds of printing and branding for organizations across this region. So don't underestimate that. 10% can go a long way as a benefit.
By the way, catering will come to your location. If it's within a 30-mile drive from Ashland, they'll come with no additional charge. If it's outside of that radius, they will charge a little extra for mileage and things like that. But they will come to your location to cater an event. You don't necessarily have to be on campus.
Good point. And this next one is complimentary access to designated campus meeting space. And that may not, again, if your organization has meeting space, this may not be something that you would think automatically, hey, I'm going to take advantage of that. But for a lot of organizations, they don't. And so to have access to a flexible classroom with technology, from small all the way up to kind of medium-sized classroom space, again, with the technology, with the Zoom capabilities and some of those types of things, many of our partners may not have access to that type of space. So we have 3 or 4 different meeting spaces that we have designated that you would have access to bring, bring folks over maybe for a half day or a day-long meeting or retreat of some sort, and we would have that available for you.
And a lot of people don't know about the 9th floor of Amstutz. Amstutz is one of our dorms, right? But we took the top floor and converted that into a retreat center. And so there's this massive table up there. I think I've gotten 38 people around this table, and there's screens on each end. And then right next to that, there's a dining room area for people can have lunch. And so a lot of our partners like this idea because they can get off-site, take their leadership team and do a half day or full day retreat.
And I think for that one, Dan, I think there's a discount on that one. I don't think that one's a full complimentary. Heather and I were just looking at that. So
it's a part of catering and auxiliary services. So
that's right. That's exactly right. Yep. But it is a great space for anybody looking for really a full featured kind of retreat opportunity. And then finally, and again, a lot of people read this and they ask Dan, what is this all about? I thought you already said that the purple partners get, recognition. Well, they do, but on this, for the gold partners on the virtual wall of fame, it not only includes your name, but also a link to an organizational profile and a link to your homepage. And so what we want to be able to do for our gold partners is not just to name you, it's to literally send people to you. So as people are kind of investigating, well, who is it that's partnered fully with AU in this way as an Eagle Community Partner Gold member, we want to be able to send them back to you and to recognize you as a faithful supporter, as a full gold partner in partnering with us at that level. We want them to be able to see what you do as well in your organization.
What we used to do for that, we called it mutual endorsement. And so we had these little certificates. They endorsed Ashland University as a great school of learning and higher education, and we endorsed them. And we were hanging those endorsements over in the College of Business and over in the College of Nursing and in the College of Ed. We got so many of those that was taking up all the wall space, and we had to start rotating them in and out. So I like this idea because now it's going to be virtual. It's going to be right there on our website.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Dan, I think that kind of wraps up the partnership benefits. I don't know if you have anything else to add to this, or certainly this would be an appropriate time for those that are joining us today for any questions that they have about partnership.
Right. And so I gave you the opportunity to speak. You can just unmute your microphone and ask your question, or you can pop it again in the chat or something like that. But why would we want to turn gold? As you can see, of that $5,000 annual premium, you already get as much as $2,750 of that back. And then the additional 10% off on whatever you do with the catering services. So you can easily see that is going to enhance a lot of the things you do and how you interact with Ashland University. So it really is a great opportunity, great benefits. I want to give people a chance to ask questions. Keith, we can talk a little bit about, while they're thinking of their questions, where to go from here. What's next? What's coming up next?
Well, there's two things that I think about. One was I was going to also mention that, I don't want everybody to assume that those are all the benefits that they will have as they think about the gold level membership, because we have an advisory committee that will be meeting in December. And so we'll be sharing this with them to get their feedback. But many, if not the majority of these benefits came from our advisory council. And we anticipate that as we get through this first year following this new launch, that we will probably even expand or enhance the benefits that our gold level partners get. And so be looking for that. Beyond that, Dan, I think the big thing is for people to just reach out to you or Heather to say, what's next? The next step is, to contact you either for a visit or for a link to the application and say, well, let's move forward. There's no better time than the present to start getting these benefits, especially as we think about, with the holidays coming. And that's one of the things, this is an interesting opportunity that we didn't mention because it's not really a benefit per se. But for the last year, we've been doing essentially these raffles for our partners. And the first one was our Christmas raffle last year, where we sent something out to all of our corporate partners, Purple and Gold members, to just say, thank you for partnering with AU. We want to do something special for our partners and for their employees. And so, Dan, why don't you we don't know quite what we're doing for this holiday season yet, but explain what we did last Christmas as a giveaway. Yeah.
We gave away an overnight stay at Landell's Mohican Castle. Now, if you've never been there, you got to see this place. It is a castle, and each suite has its own unique identity, and they go all out when they decorate for Christmas. So it was an overnight stay at Landell's Mohican Castle, which included dinner the evening before and breakfast the morning after. And then that also included snow trails, the ski resort down there. They got, I think it was up to $250 for snow trail bucks or something like that to go skiing afterwards. And so that went really, really big. And again, we're looking for people to sponsor these kinds of things. That goes out to all of our now over 100 partners and all of their employees. So when you think about a marketing opportunity that goes out to, it's something pretty outstanding.
Yeah, and each of those, I think we've now done 3 giveaways. We're going to announce our 4th giveaway, our holiday giveaway for 2022 here in just a couple weeks. But each of those we've had anywhere from 15, 16, 1,800 folks from our partners who have entered themselves into these raffle drawings, and they have just been spectacular. The response that we're getting from our partners is overwhelming. And I don't think that this is one of those things, Dan. I think, I remember talking to Troy on our campus, and he's like, well, I'd be happy if we got, 50 people to enter into this raffle. And I think that was the first or second one. And we ended up with, I don't know, 1,800 people responding to that. So pretty remarkable. But again, this is certainly not a one-way relationship for us. This is a 2-way partnership that we have with these Eagle community partners. And if you're not already a partner, we hope that what you've heard us talk about here in the last half hour or so will be a motivator for you to consider certainly the gold level partnership. But if not, if purple is all you're able to do, we welcome you at the purple level and would love to have an additional conversation with you.
Yeah, we want it to be a mutually beneficial relationship, and we really, really mean that. And we like being innovative and creative and thinking outside the box. And a lot of our partners have come back to me and said, hey, can we do this? And can we try that? And we're willing to be innovative and creative. So some of the school systems, Keith, you mentioned that some of the school systems, K through 12 school systems, since they're supported by tax dollars, community dollars, they aren't able to do the gold. So it's important that we have the free purple membership for them. Some other not-for-profits aren't able to do gold because of their status as a not-for-profit. So we're still happy to have the purple level free for them. And so we want to invite you to think about that and to recognize the great benefits that happen here. You can get a hold of us at Eagle Community Partners, that's ECP, at ashland.edu. ECP stands for Eagle Community Partners at ashland.edu. You can call us at 419-207-6745. Give us a call. I feel like I'm doing an info commercial now. That's 419-207-6745. You can give us a call, and it's easy to get a hold of us. We'll be happy to talk to you about those. Coming up next month, we're going to do a branding and marketing webinar, how to brand your company, your organization, and get the maximum efficiency out of your brand recognition. That's coming up next month in November. And it'll be the third Wednesday again at noon in November. I think because of the holidays, December, we're going to be silent. We're not going to do a webinar, but we'll be right back again then in January to do some more of these webinars for you. But next month, it'll be branding and name recognition for your company. So make sure you put that down on your calendar and make sure you register for that next webinar. Keith, any last words before we go?
No, I just appreciate the opportunity, Dan, to join you for this webinar and to talk to some of our partners here or potential partners. And I just want to thank all of them for joining us.
And what's more, this recording will go into that library that we talked about for those resources. And so if you said, I think they said something about this, you'll have access to go back to those libraries at the gold level and listen to these all over again. And so this part will be in that library too. So we're glad you were with us today. Thanks for tuning in. And there was an old weatherman when I was a kid, he used to say, thanks for putting me on. So we're glad you came as one of our partners, and we're glad you got to learn about our Eagle Community Partners Program. Just a little side bit here. We only launched this in August. We only launched the Eagle Community Partners and the gold level in August, and already we've got people jumping in and becoming gold level partners right away. So you can see it's a great program. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you next time.